Have you ever thought, why am I not moving forward as fast as I want to? Why is it that I kind of feel stalled? It's not because you're lazy or you need another strategy. Girl, it's because of one issue. My name is Sheree Cain-Jones. You can call me Coach Sheree, and I'm a professional speaker and coach, and for over a decade, I've been helping women to think, speak, and act confidently in their relationships all the way to the stage. Now, when we're not moving forward in life, it's not because you need another strategy or more information. It's probably because you're dealing with uncertainty. Now, uncertainty is all about you not making moves because you're not sure that things are going to work out. You're not sure that it's going to work out with your job. It's not going to work out with your business. It's not going to work out with this client. It's not going to work out with this relationship. So when you are being stalled and stagnant because of uncertainty, there are 3 different signs that show up. All of us, we love a good sign. I love a good sign. And I always say that a lot of women say they want to walk by faith when really they want to walk by certainty. You want to be 100% sure that everything's going to work out. And that is not even possible. And when you do that, it drains you from your confidence. So the first sign that you are living with this uncertainty state of mind is you're going to find yourself waiting for the perfect email, waiting for the perfect text, waiting to send that proposal, waiting to send that DM. You wait. And I always say, when we delay our decisions, we delay our destiny. I remember maybe about 23 years ago, I was asked to speak and I said no. Why? Because I was waiting. I was waiting to get ready instead of preparing to be ready. Have you ever done that where somebody's asked you to perhaps have a conversation and you said, no, I'm waiting on it? Or maybe you know you need to have a conversation with your spouse. It's time to address some issues. Oh, I'm waiting on it. Or perhaps you know that, I know I need to go up on my prices in my business. I'm waiting on it. A lot of times the reason why we're waiting, it's not because we fear the action, it's because we fear the outcome. We genuinely fear what someone is going to say. Perhaps you are waiting because you're afraid you're going to be judged. You're waiting because you are concerned somebody's going to reject you. You are waiting because you don't want to feel bad. You are afraid to make someone else mad, but on the inside, you end up making your own self mad. I believe that waiting is a cloak for fear. Again, it's because you're waiting because you're afraid of the outcome. You know, there is no perfect outcome. So why not stop waiting and take action? The most powerful women move when they have no certainty. If you are going to wait for everything to line up, all the stars, everything to turn out right, you'll end up waiting yourself right out of the opportunities and destiny that you say you really want. So I just want you, drop it down in the comments and let me know, hey, I'm no longer gonna wait. Now, when you're waiting, remember what I said, it's because of fear. So you do need to address the fear. So you need to name the fear. I always say this is something I teach my students. You gotta name it to tame it, because it's very difficult for us to correct a behavior that we won't address. So for example, when I wanted to be a speaker, I had to deal with the fact that I was afraid of the audience's reaction, that they weren't going to accept me, that I was not the one that they wanted. And I ended up having to see a coach. It's a whole story. And it was a narrative. So whenever you're waiting, you have a narrative. It's a story that's playing in your mind. We are meaning-making machines. So whatever that story is, they're not going to accept me, they're going to judge me, they're going to reject me. You need to identify that story. And here's what I would say. You got to ask yourself, where is my proof that living with this story works? Show me the receipt. Where's the proof that waiting for the perfect moment works? It generally doesn't. So the second sign that you are dealing with uncertainty is that you're saying, I'm busy. I'm too busy. I don't have time. I love this. Like, this is something I teach my students. I don't have capacity. But the truth is sometimes we're saying we don't have capacity because we simply don't want to confront an issue. I remember waiting and saying I'm busy. I wasn't going to confront an issue. And it was with a family member. I was just tolerating bad behavior. Have you ever done that? Or you have tolerated behavior that is way beneath you. But you're too busy to address it. Again, when we are dealing with uncertainty, we're dealing with fear. So it's not really that you're too busy, it's that you are needing to focus and you need to address that emotional intolerance of addressing the problem. One of the things that really helped me to begin to address some of the issues with uncertainty around family members, around how things were going to work out, is I just had to make a decision that I could no longer live like this. I could no longer be this frustrated, this angry, this upset because somebody else was going to be mad. And if you are that person, you need to make sure that you reach out to me, because I teach women how to think, speak, and act confidently. And many times they're avoiding conversations that are overdue that they need to have. Like, you can hear my kids upstairs. So that's the second reason that you are dealing with uncertainty. You are cloaking your fear in busyness because you're just not sure how things are going to work out. And the third way that you're dealing with uncertainty is you need too many opinions before you move. You need your mother's opinion and your daddy's opinion and your friend's opinion. Now, I'm not saying don't get counsel. You want to get wise counsel, but we don't want to collect opinions like they are part of a collection plate. You know, some of us, we don't want to move because deep down, you don't really trust yourself. So that's why you go seeking opinions, trying to get validation. What does this person think? What does that person think? But what do you think? Is this something that you need to do? Is this something that you should do? I used to do this many years ago in my 20s. I just wasn't sure of myself. I didn't have confidence in myself. So I would ask 30 people. I would need 20 confirmations, 13 signs, 4 conversations, and an email, and maybe a goat walking by. That comes from not really being confident, and it causes you to not make decisions and to be stuck. Again, this is not about you not being excellent, but there's a difference between walking in excellence and walking in uncertainty. Excellence sees a problem and executes on what I have. Uncertainty won't execute on what I do have. So you just have to ask yourself, man, am I dealing with this? Am I dealing with an intolerance of being uncertain? You know, so many times we are waiting as women for perfection. We want everything to work out. We want to send that perfect email before we send it, but that's unrealistic. If you were to sit down and craft what perfection would look like, it would be something that you would never attain. If that's you and you are smart, capable, high achieving, again, it's because you have an intolerance for uncertainty. And really, it's fear. It's really fear. And it's fear, most of the time, it's a story that we've come up with. So let me just review those 3 signs that you're dealing with this uncertainty. Number 1 is you're waiting. You know, you can wait yourself out of your destiny. You know, you can't wait yourself into your destiny, but you can wait yourself out of your destiny. I spent 2 decades waiting for the right moment to come. Number 2, you're busy. I don't have capacity. I don't have time. Again, that's fear in disguise. But until you address that fear, it's going to continue to direct your life. I love what Carl Jung says. He says, until the unconscious becomes conscious, it will direct our life, and we'll call it fate. So we don't want fear to direct our life. We want our own thoughts, opinions to direct our life. And then number 3, which is really important, is we need too many opinions. That means that you don't need another YouTube video. You don't need 15 different people telling you what to do. You have to learn how to trust your own voice. And many times as women, we don't trust our voice because we've lost our voice. And if that's you, make sure you fill out my application to work with me, where I help you to think, speak, and act confidently. One of the outcomes of being a confident woman is you make decisions. I see a lot of smart, capable women who live in indecision. They don't know which sour cream to pick when they go to Trader Joe's. They don't know which program they need to be a part of. They don't know which job to take. So they live in indecision and trying to get all the right opinions. But what I say is indecision is a decision. It's often a decision to stay stuck. Make sure you fill out the application below. Reach out to me. Let's help you to think, speak, and act confidently. Ladies, no more uncertainty. Make sure you pick one action and move on it. And I cannot wait to hear what you do. Put it in the comments and let me know. If you have any questions or if you need anything, make sure you reach out to me on Instagram at The Real Coach Sheree. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Lights off me, lights off you, girls. Take action.